Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I am First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. We do have a string of wetter and stormier days on the way, resulting in First Alert weather days across North Georgia starting today that will continue into tomorrow. And then looking ahead, we also have a First Alert weather day for the upcoming Sunday. So a lot to cover, but in the meantime, our first batch of alerts for you. Today, we will have spotty showers throughout the day. Some of you might have already encountered that on your way to work, or if you were just outside kind of getting things done to kick off your Tuesday. Tonight, heavy rain arrives, not looking at necessarily any thunderstorm activity tonight. However, tomorrow, we will have even heavier rain, and we are looking at the potential for thunderstorms, maybe an isolated severe storm. And just with all the rain expected today and tonight, and then through the day tomorrow, our flooding threat will also increase through the day tomorrow and into early Thursday morning. In fact, we do have a flood watch that will go into effect at 1 o'clock. That goes until 7 o'clock on Thursday morning. And what this essentially means is that there is the potential for flash flooding, especially from Atlanta. This does include the city of Atlanta off to the northwest. It does look like the far northwestern tier of the state will get the most heavy rain. You'll see kind of that training of heavy rain over the next several days where you could pick up potentially over 5 inches of rain within just about 48 hours or so. So we are going to be keeping a very close eye on the northwestern tier of the state. That includes places like Chattooga and Floyd counties, into Cherokee County, Cobb County, Paulding County, Haralson County as well, all the way over into Hall County and into the mountains. So we will be watching for flooding. That flood watch again in effect until 7 o'clock Thursday morning, and that is when the rain will finally start to subside for us after a really just wet string of a couple of days here, a stretch of days here the next couple of days. First alert radar right now, this is just after 10 o'clock. Of course, if you're watching this live with us, showers already starting. So we're already starting to kick off that wet pattern for us here across North Georgia. Some pockets of heavier rain moving into Dawson County and into Lumpkin County right now, White County as well. And we'll continue to watch just on and off scattered showers throughout the morning. It does look like we will trend drier through the afternoon. So today, if you are going to go grab some lunch, or maybe as you're picking up the kids from school later this afternoon, it doesn't look like it's going to be super rainy. So the afternoon hours between about noon to 3 o'clock will be the best time for you to get out and get anything done that you need to get done, walking the dogs, running some errands. We did put that first alert weather day in red after 1 o'clock because that's when that flood watch goes into effect. But notice going into the evening tonight after 8 o'clock, we are going to start to increase that coverage of rain leading into a very rainy overnight hour. Again, we are not looking at the potential for severe weather today. That will be a potential that will be in the cards tomorrow. Let's take you hour by hour through Futurecast and kind of show you what that looks like going through the day. Again, the afternoon, mostly dry with the exception of a few spotty showers. So that'll be the best time for you to get things done today. And then going towards 5 o'clock to commute home tonight, we're mainly going to look in far northwest Georgia for any of the rain to impact your commute. So up towards Floyd and Chattooga County, into Fannin County, Gilmer County, up towards Towns, Union, Rabun County. Some rain will be possible for your evening commute, but for most of Metro, we'll look dry for the evening commute home tonight. Around 8 o'clock, we will start to have more widespread rain and some heavy rain roll into Metro and continue through the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, scattered showers will be possible. The roads will more than likely be wet tomorrow morning just from the overnight rain, and all this rain through the first half of the day tomorrow is actually along a warm front, but there's a very tricky forecast, and it would take me very long to explain. But we're going to have our warm front of our weather system trying to push through. In the meantime, we also have a wedge of cool air spilling in. So that's going to make the day, even if you're not dealing with physical rain falling, it's going to make it feel really damp, kind of misty. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cool. Temperatures today only going to be in the 40s to near 50. Tomorrow, even cooler. And again, we will have that rain scattered tomorrow morning for your morning commute. Taking a look at tomorrow, I do want to talk about that severe threat before we go further into the day because it will be an afternoon and evening severe event for us. Very isolated threat, definitely not looking at widespread severe weather. And we'll mainly look in far west Georgia from Rome all the way down to LaGrange for, again, maybe an isolated strong to severe storm. The threat tomorrow will mainly be for damaging straight line winds, so gusty wind. Let's take you through the day. So again, morning scattered showers possible. Unlike today, tomorrow afternoon does look quite wet. So thinking about, the kids getting off the bus at school or you running errands, anything like that, just know that tomorrow afternoon does look wet with that chance for maybe some heavier pockets of rain. Heading into the evening commute tomorrow, we will have rain continue. I do think after 4 o'clock, we'll be watching for maybe that isolated strong to severe storm, mainly south of I-20 tomorrow afternoon. And then going into the late evening hours, 10 o'clock, this is our actual cold front. So there's a lot of wet weather ahead of us, but just know that I think our main time frame for maybe an isolated severe storm tomorrow will be after 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And I do think it'll mainly be confined to West Georgia. And more specifically, I think the dynamics are best south of I-20. So down towards Troup County, Heard County, Meriwether County. I think that's where we'll look for maybe an isolated strong storm. As our front comes through, which will be late evening after sunset, we'll get that extra lift from the cold front, and I think that will be our best chance for severe storms, but you can't rule out an isolated severe storm even after 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And then this front rolls through, and we're dry by the time most of you are out the door on Thursday. However, because of all of the rain that was picked up between today and the overnight hours Thursday, there definitely could be some ponding in the roadways, some flooded roads. Flash flooding could still be ongoing at this point, so even after the rain is gone, obviously that water isn't just going to magically evaporate, so flooding could still be a concern even going into early Thursday morning. Here's a look at the potential rainfall, and emphasis on potential. This model is definitely a little more aggressive than some of our others, but it paints the picture of where we're expecting that highest rainfall coverage. So we're looking at about 1 inch to 2 inches of rain from Atlanta off to the south. And then north of the city, again, where that flood watch is, we're looking at the potential of 3 to 5 inches of rain with locally heavy amounts possible. This particular model in places like Rome, Ellijay, thinking over 6, 7 inches of rain, that is a possibility. I don't think that's what most of us are going to experience, but I do think some isolated pockets of totals of 6 to 7 plus inches of rain will be possible, especially in that far northwestern tier of the state where a lot of heavy rain will train and fall. Also, I want to note down in South Georgia, south of I-20 towards LaGrange, I do think that you could potentially pick up more than 1 inch or 2 of rain as well. But again, the focus will mainly be north of the city where that flood watch is in effect. Going into the weekend, we will have a dry day on Friday. So once the rain moves out Thursday, we'll be dry for the day Thursday, and then into Friday we're dry too. It'll be chilly for your Valentine's Day plans, but dry. But then another weather system starts to approach Saturday into Sunday. Sunday is our next first alert weather day. Saturday we'll have a few scattered showers out ahead of it. Not the nicest day Saturday, but the better day of the two. And then Sunday we'll have another cold front move in. This front does seem to have a little bit more potency. It's a little stronger. So I do think that we are going to be watching for severe storms on early Sunday morning. So as you're thinking about the weekend, just know you'll want to have that first alert weather app handy because a lot of us aren't waking up early on Sunday, right? So you're going to want something to wake you up because I do think we'll have the chance for severe storms early Sunday, and that the threats not only just damaging wind, but I do think we have enough spin in the atmosphere to maybe warrant for a tornado threat on Sunday as well. Doesn't look like we're looking at any kind of long track tornadoes, but some brief tornadoes will be possible, some brief weak tornadoes possible on Sunday. We'll be fine tuning and watching that very carefully for you. Otherwise, temperatures in the 50s. Taking you to our first alert 7-day forecast, a very busy forecast, clearly. I know it's been a little hard to follow, but just know on and off scattered showers have already begun. They will continue through the day today with the heaviest rain tonight after about 7, 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow, we'll look at the afternoon and evening to be very rainy, and that will increase our flood potential. So that's the reason for our first alert weather days today and tomorrow, the rain, and then ultimately that flood threat Wednesday, maybe an isolated severe storm tomorrow night. Thursday will dry out through the afternoon, and then Friday for Valentine's Day we'll wake up cold in the 30s, highs in the 50s. Rain does start to return Saturday ahead of that first alert weather day. Sunday, a cold front comes through, bringing very heavy rain, maybe severe weather as well. And then it looks like we wake up back in the 20s next Monday morning with highs only in the 40s. So winter has returned. That little piece or taste of spring, I should say, was fabulous, but that has come to an end. It looks like we'll have to wait probably a few more weeks to get weather like that yet again. Be sure to have that first alert weather app downloaded. We are constantly updating you on everything you need to know about this very busy forecast, but we do also need to get a check of your news headlines. And with that, I am going
All right, let's get you caught up on some of the headlines that we're following. And I want to start by taking you out to Roswell here. I'm just going to change over my graphics. As we continue to follow this story that we've been reporting to you since the tragic incident took place where this officer, let me bring his picture back here. Officer Labonte was fatally shot while responding to an incident. Now the community mourning this tragic loss is getting an opportunity today to pay their respects to Officer Labonte. Our Atlanta News First, Don Shipman, went out to Roswell this morning. He's outside a memorial that has been set up at the police station.
Thousands from across this community and across this state are expected to participate. The visitation happening today, the funeral happening tomorrow, along with a massive procession. Officer Jeremy Labonte was just 24 years old. He was killed on the job on Friday while responding to a suspicious person call at a local shopping center. The man accused of killing him is in jail facing murder and other charges. Today and over the course of the next few days, Officer Labonte's family, friends, fellow officers, and thousands in this community will come together to mourn their loss. Now, to accommodate, the city has set up overflow locations.
The church can hold approximately 1,500 people, and it is pretty much already full. The chapel will hold approximately 400 people, and that is why we've opened up City Hall. That's why we've opened up the Cultural Arts Center. And that's why we've opened up the Bill Johnson Center.
Now that's for the funeral, which is happening tomorrow at 3 at Roswell United Methodist Church. Today is the visitation from 3 until 6, also happening at the church. We're here in Roswell. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And you have an opportunity, excuse me, I'm going to bring that noise down. You have an opportunity to visit today. Again, we have more information for you on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. All right, let's move things on to Marietta, where we are following a story out of Marietta City Schools, now looking at added safety measures. School board members are considering putting weapons detection systems in all of the district schools. Atlanta News First, Sarah Hammond in Marietta now, where this is up for discussion tonight.
This is a conversation a lot of school boards have been having, particularly following the shooting at Appalachia High School late last year. And now Marietta City Schools are the latest to consider installing a weapons detection system in their schools. Superintendent Dr. Grant Rivera says he thinks a weapons detection system is the next step in keeping their students safe. So he is recommending the school board vote to approve purchasing artificial intelligence weapons detection from Alliance Technology Group. If approved, the plan is to place the AI technology in all campuses, and the purchase would include equipment installation and training costing roughly $300,000. And Dr. Rivera said in a past virtual town hall, he is opting for this choice versus other options like clear backpacks.
There are children in an elementary school where their backpack is part of their identity. And as we start to change that, I don't want school to become, to create more anxiety for our youngest learners. So right now, we believe that the weapons detection is the appropriate next step.
That school board meeting begins at 6 o'clock tonight, and there will be opportunity for public comment. In Marietta, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And another story that we are following, you might be familiar with this picture. This is the father of the suspected shooter at Appalachia High School that was arrested and charged last month. Both of them facing charges. Now, today at 2 o'clock, we are expected to see Colin Gray face a judge and ask to be let out of jail. This is a bond hearing, and the judge will ultimately decide if he is granted bond based off his connection and the charges he is facing in the Appalachia school shooting, as again his son is the central suspect in this investigation, the suspected shooter of that tragic school shooting that caused 4 people to lose their lives and injured 9 others. Again, we are going to continue to follow this and bring you live coverage on Atlanta News First Plus. And if you've been on the Beltline recently, let me know if you've seen this happening. There is apparently a crackdown now from police on people illegally selling dogs on Atlanta's most popular walking trail. Atlanta News First Madeline Montgomery is on the east side trail of the Beltline, where animal rights advocates are urging people not to fall for this.
On the Beltline, you are likely to bump into a dog or two. If you're looking to purchase your own pup, while you may run into situations like this, experts say this is not the place to buy man's best friend.
They're walking along after lunch and they see adorable puppies or kittens or rabbits, and it's really hard not to stop. People aren't making rational decisions.
Animal advocates with the Georgia Pet Coalition say many times these animals are not being taken care of.
So it's this issue of buying on impulse and then latering surrender the animal.
And it's not legal. Atlanta police confirming they gave out 3 citations recently along the Beltline for selling puppies without a permit.
They proactively took initiative and cited these sellers.
More and more places in Georgia are making laws specifically against the outdoor transient sales of dogs, cats, and rabbits. DeKalb County, Fulton County, the city of Roswell, Brookhaven, just a few places with these ordinances. But the Georgia Coalition of Pets wants the law at a state level.
The reason it's so important to have a state level bill is these sellers can simply cross city and county lines.
Encouraging people who want pets to get them from a shelter.
You do know what shots and what tests are done at the shelter before they'd opt out to you.
Or a breeder certified through the state's Department of Agriculture.
We need to protect breeders that do it, that follow.
Is freezing all new rules that have not been set to the Federal Register yet. So we don't quite know how or when this ban could go into effect, but it is on the table, and you can imagine how many people would be impacted by this. This does it for our latest edition of Catch Up Quick, but the news never stops, and here at Atlanta News First, we want to keep you updated every step of the way on the stories coming out of your community. So with that, we will be back here at the top of the 11 o'clock hour with another installment of In Case You Missed It. I want to bring you out to a live look at Metro Atlanta. As you can see, a busy Tuesday, many on the roads, and we hope that you have a wonderful day ahead of all of that rainy weather. Again, keep in mind it is a First Alert Weather Day. We want you to stay prepared by downloading the First Alert Weather app as we look to heavy rain and dipping temperatures in the forecast ahead.